so you have to do the things that make you scared, that are difficult. It's not about being fearless, it's about feeling the fear and still going off and doing it and then saying, I'm amazing because I tried. The only reason why I passed so many other creators is just because I kept going. Because I had the thing that most people miss, which is momentum. The only thing you're missing is momentum. People don't lean into their dreams because they're afraid. You're afraid of it not working. You're afraid of people judging you. You're afraid of you being a failure. But if you never lean into your dream, you'll always know that you are capable of more and regret the fact that you never had the courage to really take your shot.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 would believe nation.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like na 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 na. For my top 10, top 10, na 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 na. This one's for my top 10.
Hey, this is Nina Carmichael, and we made these videos because you know you're the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more, and you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, and his top 10 rules for success. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Lean into your dreams.
People don't lean into their dreams because they're afraid. You're afraid of it not working. You're afraid of people judging you. You're afraid of you being a failure. But if you never lean into your dream, you'll always know that you are capable of more and regret the fact that you never had the courage to really take your shot. So I think we constantly go through this. I recently went through this late last year where I got invited to speak at Brendan Burchard's event, and a couple thousand people in the room. And up until that point, I hadn't done a big speaking event for a while. I'd done a lot of small events, small meetups, even small speaking engagements. But a couple thousand people I hadn't done in a while. And in my head, I was telling myself, I just want to do a Q&A. Q&A is the easiest for me. It's the most fun for me. It's the easiest for me. All I have to do is show up. And so I told them, hey, what if we just did a Q&A? And one of the hosts, either Brendan or Ethan or Dean or one of the people there at the event can interview me. We'll do Q&A and then we'll open up to the audience because that's the most fun, knowing that it's helping somebody else in the audience. And they said, we don't really want to do that format. It's like, okay, no problem. I'm in. I'll speak. And at the 2 events prior, I did Q&A. I brought it up to the organizer. They liked the idea, and then we went to Q&A. And I shine in Q&A, and again, I love it. I'm great at it, but it also is an easy crutch for me because I don't need to prepare for anything. I don't need to have PowerPoint. I don't need to have a deck. I don't even really need to think that much about what I'm going to say because it's always bouncing off whatever the other person wants to talk about. If I didn't show up though, if I didn't go, if I didn't say yes, if I sabotaged it, I would have missed out on such an amazing opportunity, right? From that one event where I spoke on Brendan's stage, a couple thousand people, he then invited me back to come and speak again in Puerto Rico to his big mastermind group. Not big people, more big people pay 30 to 50K to be there. And then he invited me to mastermind with him and Dean and his homies to help him in his business and me in mine as well. If I sabotaged myself and said, no, I only want to do Q&A, I wouldn't have gotten that opportunity. And so even though I was super afraid, I said yes. Even though I tried to push it towards something else that was more comfortable for me, I said yes. And so it's leaning into the dream. The reality for me was I was just afraid.
Rule number 2, keep going.
The only thing you're missing is momentum. You've got all the tools available to you. It has never been easier to build your dreams, to reach an audience, to create the company you want. Never easier. All you're missing is momentum. Sustained, daily, ever-present momentum. And today, I'm going to show you how to get it. One of the only reasons why I've had success on YouTube is I just kept going. When I first started on the platform 11 years ago, it's crazy that it's been that long. You can kind of see some of the awards behind me here, behind the books. Buy, Build to Serve, it's an amazing book. 11 years ago when I first started, my first video was on Walt Disney. I had my friend, Mark Drager, huge friend of the channel, come in and help film it for me and help edit it for me. And in the first year of that video being up, there were only 3 comments on it. One was my mom, one was my older sister, and one was some other random guy who commented on my video, right? In a year of my first video going up, only one person that I didn't know commented on the video. YouTube at the time was not a long-form platform. YouTube 11 years ago was something that people were posting really silly meme videos and just jokes and pranks, but really short-form videos. Nobody was making long videos, 10-minute videos, 12-minute videos. It didn't exist. And it took me 5 years to get to 7,000 subscribers. I knew because that's when I passed 1 million views. After 5 years, I crossed 1 million views and I got 7,000 subscribers. And then in the past 6 years, it's gone from 7,000 subscribers to 2 point whatever million and 1 million views to 300 whatever million views. I just kept at it. Now, my journey doesn't have to be your journey. It doesn't have to take you that long if you're trying to build up a YouTube channel. It may, but it doesn't have to. One, I'm super introverted and nervous and filming. And even now, stuff makes me nervous getting in front of the camera because I want every video to be the best that I've ever done. YouTube at the time was not an educational platform, and it's changed. So there's lots that was against me, but the only reason why I've passed so many other creators is just because I kept going. Because I had the thing that most people miss, which is momentum. The only thing you're missing is momentum. It was actually sad for me for when I passed some of the speakers that I looked up to and I aspired to be like from a speaker point of view, because I figured these guys are so much more talented than me. These guys have so many more abilities than me. They're more naturally gifted and they put in so much work to be great speakers. And it made me sad when I passed them on YouTube because I felt, man, these guys, they should be out there more. I feel like their message needs to be heard. The only difference was I was just putting in more work on YouTube. They're off doing their other things as well. But from a YouTube perspective, I was just building more momentum. I just had more sustained energy to it. And you see this so often with entrepreneurs, not just YouTube, entrepreneurs. So often you got a great idea and you start and there's so much energy and momentum and then you don't get immediate results. And so you stop and then you get motivated again and you keep going and then you quit again and you give up. It's that sustained, evergreen, ongoing, daily momentum that you're missing. Even if it's just an hour a day, maybe you have a job, you need to survive. Awesome, I understand. Yes, pay the bills. You don't have to burn all the boats and burn all the bridges as the only way that this business is going to take off. Sustained momentum. Every single day has to be part of what you're doing. And so I've had success on YouTube because I've made 6,000 videos. Again, I'm not super talented. It took me a long time to get here. I'm a result of just every day getting up and doing the work. And chances are, whoever your heroes are, whether it's Tony Robbins or Steve Jobs or Oprah Winfrey or whoever it is, look at their story. It was every day getting up, doing the work, even if they weren't getting results, knowing that the only thing missing, the only thing you are missing is that sustained momentum because you're a genius, you have a great idea, that idea needs to be birthed into the world, you're just not doing enough daily action to make it actually happen.
Rule number 3, do difficult things.
Self-love comes from doing difficult things. Self-love, self-confidence, self-respect, all of it comes from doing difficult things and praising yourself for doing them. I think it's one of the most important things that people don't do enough. But I think in order to actually make the praise stick, you have to prove to yourself that you're worthy of it. By doing difficult things. You can say, I'm a badass entrepreneur. You can say, I'm amazing and I love myself. But why? Your brain's ain't gonna say, well, no you don't. No you don't. Show me, what have you done? You're waking up and doing the same thing you did yesterday. At least this is the conversation in my head. So by doing difficult things, by doing the thing, even if you don't get the result, it doesn't matter about the result. You're tying your self-worth, your self-confidence to the effort, to trying the difficult thing, to taking action on a difficult thing that you were scared to do. If you woke up every day and did something that made you scared, that was difficult, that made your heart go boom, 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 like that. You did that every day, and then you praised yourself afterwards for the effort, I promise you, you're gonna love yourself. I promise you, you're gonna go off and do amazing things. You're gonna take that idea that you've got and go off and actually execute it and actually implement it. One of the biggest reasons why you're not is because you don't believe in yourself. That's why I think lack of belief is the single biggest problem in the world. I'm trying to solve the world's biggest problem. People don't believe in themselves enough. The woman who solves cancer is a manager at some restaurant and she hates her life because she never believed in herself enough to actually go down the path that she should have gone down, because she listened to her parents and friends and family and society to go do the safe thing. And she's got a safe, boring life that she hates because she doesn't love herself and she doesn't believe in herself enough. And so you have to do the things that make you scared, that are difficult. It's not about being fearless, it's about feeling the fear and still going off and doing it and then saying, I'm amazing because I tried. Because if you woke up every day and did something where you felt amazing that you tried, you're gonna actually go off and accomplish amazing things, and you're gonna feel amazing about yourself.
Rule number 4, bring more value.
The number one rule if you want to make more money is you have to bring more value. Want to make money quickly? Provide value quickly. Want to make tons of money? Provide tons of value. If you are not making money yet, it's because people don't see the value that you bring. And we're going to change that in this video. So one of the first people that I had any kind of arrangement with on the top 10 series that I had on my channel was Tony Robbins. I made a video on Tony Robbins, I don't know how many years ago now, the first top 10 that I did on him, and his team put it on his YouTube channel. So it may still be there. If you go to his YouTube channel and then look at the playlist, you'll see that one of those videos is the video that I made on him so many years back. And I started trying to bring as much value to his team as possible. Now, Tony's a really busy guy. I'd loved him from all the books that he's written and the CD programs that I listened to. I hadn't been to an event yet at that point, and I was just trying to bring value to Tony's team. I didn't know him personally yet. And it frustrated me that he wasn't more on YouTube. And I thought, hey, this guy needs to be more on YouTube. I want more content for my channel. And I think the world needs more amazing speakers and thought leaders out there creating content on YouTube so people can learn. And so I kept in touch with his team and I said, hey, I'd love to help promote Tony. I'd love to help you with your YouTube channel. I'd love to have Tony on my channel. And I just kept trying to find ways to bring value to his team consistently and following up. And finally, here's what happened. Finally, they agreed, hey, yeah, let's have Tony come and do an interview on your team. And finally, they said, hey, let's have Tony come and do an interview on your channel. And I was so excited. I was super nervous to have Tony Robbins on my channel. It's going to be a big deal. And then like the day of or the day before, he had to cancel. For something happened. Something came up on his schedule. No problem. He had to cancel. And all of the nerves and energy is like, oh no, now led to disappointment. That is finally gonna happen, and then it's not gonna happen. And he said, we'll try to book it in as soon as possible to get it happening because Tony wants to be on your channel. Great. It took 2 years before we actually got Tony on the channel afterwards. 2 years, and that's not to throw shade at Tony. I love him. He's busy. He's doing his own thing. I wasn't bringing enough value to make it sooner. But what I did was I kept in touch. I kept following up, not just saying, hey, is Tony ready yet? Hey, is Tony ready yet? Hey, is Tony ready yet? No, I'm bringing value. I'm helping them with their YouTube channel. I'm giving them suggestions. I'm helping promote their events. I was doing stuff to try to still be in the circle, to stay top of mind, so that when the next opportunity came up, which happened to be when he launched his next book, to say, I want to be top of mind. And Tony agreed to do 5 different remote interviews for his new book, and I was one of the 5. And his team said, you've been so valuable to us. You've been helping us so much. We appreciate it. We want you to be one of the 5 that Tony does an interview with. Like, it's happening. Pinch me for real this time. I hope it's happening. And then the day of, he showed up, and I was super stressed out and nervous about asking the right questions and trying to bring value again. I don't want to disappoint people. And he showed up and went great. We had an awesome interview. And at the end, he then said, hey, Evan, I'd like to invite you as my guest to my next seminar, which is coming up in New Jersey, Unleash the Power Within. And he invited me to like front row seats, special lounge access, and all the perks. Meet him backstage because he wanted to chat and take a picture, which then led to more events and other opportunities, and then speaking, and then connecting with Brendan Burchard's team, and like lots of stuff happened through the Tony Robbins world and connection because I stayed and I followed up, because I kept trying to bring value. And even after the first time when they got the cancellation on me, I still followed up for 2 more years and kept providing value for 2 more years, right? It's dog on the bone. I want this to work. I'm going to find another way through, until finally it did, and then things took off. And so the same thing for you in your business. If you want to have success, it's about thinking about ways you can provide more value. It's not that you can't provide value. It's not that you're not talented and that you're not a genius. You are. People just don't recognize the value that you can bring yet, and you haven't figured out how to bring that to market in a way that you're going to get paid to do it. Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, I've designed a special free training to help you get it, where every day for the next 254 days, I will send you a link to an unlisted video to your email to every day shift your confidence and self-belief forward. The science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action to make a habit stick. And I want you to get the habit of self-confidence and self-belief The link to join absolutely for free is in the description below.
Find whatever the smallest first step is, and then the smallest next step is, and continue to build those steps. And when you look back, you'll have realized that you made some pretty significant progress.
What you do in the first 15 minutes of your day matters. Chart your start. Publishers do a little bit of work to help you. They try to line up a little bit of media and some of their contacts, but don't expect the publishers to do a lot. These days, it's really up to the author.
Rule number 5, follow through your goals.
We give up too easily on our goals because we've proven to ourselves that we can't follow through on our goals. Every time you set a goal and you don't follow through, you're creating the pattern in your head, the mindset, the identity that I'm the kind of person who doesn't follow through. So what happens the next time you set a goal? Well, your brain will kick in to say, you're not going to do that. How many times have you set a goal for yourself? It might be some big giant goal, right? Like, I'm going to crush this year and I'm going to be here by the end of the year. Awesome. Might be some big goal. But chances are even the little ones, even the little goals, like I'm going to work out today, or I'm going to eat well today, or I'm going to make that call today. How many times have you set even a little goal for yourself and then not follow through? You didn't do it. You're not allowed to do that anymore. You have to be very intentional about the goals you set for yourself, and then once you set them, you have to follow through, because what's happening is you don't believe you anymore. The next time you come up with another goal, you say, I'm going to create this thing. I'm going to get this thing done. You might believe it in the half second that you decided you're going to do it. And then what happens? Your brain's going to take over and say, you're not going to do that thing. Are you crazy? What makes you think you're going to do that? You didn't do these other 100 things you said you were going to do either. Your goals don't count until they're hard. And it starts with, as soon as you set a goal, you follow through and expect it to be difficult. If it's easy, it's a gift. Expect it to be difficult and show yourself that you do difficult things.
Rule number 6, figure out your who.
If you want to stop living the life that other people want for you, you have to understand your most important core value. I call it your who. It's from my book, Built to Serve. And when you figure it out, it gives you the freedom to start living the life that you actually want to live. Decisions become easier, life becomes easier, and your confidence starts to skyrocket. And I'm going to tell you how to do it in this video. So my who is believe. My one word is believe. It comes from my parents. They're here on my wall behind me. I'm 8 or 9 years old in this picture, and my parents are above me, and they would always tell me I'm Evan Carmichael, that I can do anything that I believe that I can. My favorite movie is Seabiscuit, which is about this horse that is too small and a jockey that's too big and an owner that has no money, and somehow they all come together in the middle of the depression to create this amazing story. I love cheering for the underdog. I love the idea that if you just believe in yourself more, you're going to be able to create amazing things. And so believe is my one word, most important core value. It's my who. So once you figure that out, it gives you clarity over everything else in my life. So look at the videos that I make. It's always positive. All my videos are always positive. I always try to inject believe into everything that I do. Into this video right now, right here that you're watching. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome. Thank you for watching. I always try to make it about believe. Now, I may not achieve it. I may not have done a good job. You may not be feeling believe after watching this, but it's always my intention going in. It's why I don't have negative videos. If I did the top 10 stupidest things that Jordan Peterson had said, or the top 10 fights between Kanye and whoever, that would actually blow up more. That would blow up more. People would rather consume negativity than positivity. I just don't want to make that video. It doesn't fill me up. It's not my purpose. It's not why I'm here creating the content that I'm creating. And so when you figure out what your one word is, when you figure out what your who is, your most important core value, it allows you to stay on the path to create the life that you want. So if you come to me with an opportunity that is not about believe, it's an easy no. Where otherwise it's, should I do it? I don't know. The money might be good, but it feels a little gross, right? It's an easier decision path. And if you're bringing people in to join your team, you now know what you're looking for. I need people who can, yes, video edit. Hey, Christina. But I also need people who believe and believe, right? Who want to help other people out. So having that clarity gives you the rock to stand on, because you're going to be pulled in a million different directions, right? Your parents want you to do something. Your friends want you to do something. The news wants you to do something. The people around you are all telling you, do this and do this and do this. And like, you don't know what to do. And you see somebody with confidence, somebody who's off chasing their dream, and it's easier just to say, well, I'm going to go and follow that person, where you could be an amazing leader yourself. The only thing missing is you don't know what you stand for. When you figure out your who, you've got the rock to stand on. When everybody else is on quicksand and drowning, you're on your rock and you know what you need to do.
Rule number 7, model success.
The fastest way to accomplish anything in life is to model success. You want business success, you want relationship success, you want financial success, whatever it is you want to learn. Somebody's done it. And the fastest way to learn is to go find somebody, understand what it took for them to become a success, and then apply it to your business, to your life, to your situation. The problem is we feel like we have to do everything ourselves. That you don't know what to do, so I'm going to figure this out, right? I'm creative, I'm a genius, I can figure it out. And yes, you can, but chances are it's going to take you a lot longer. Instead of trying to come up with everything yourself, it's better to build upon what other people have already done. They could take you 80% of the way. It's not going to be 100%, right? If you're trying to get big on YouTube, great, you can copy what I'm doing, but it's not going to take you 100% of the way. It'll take you 80% of the way, because if all you do is copy me, you're going to be an Evan Jr., which will take you a good chunk, but at best, you're going to be a junior Evan. You're never going to be what you could be. And so you need to take what I'm doing, learn from it, but then tweak that last 20% to make it your own. How do you take what other people have done and then tweak that last 20% to make it your own? But modeling success takes you 80% of the way. This is the biggest mistake I made when I was starting up as an entrepreneur, right? I've told the story a bunch, but I was 19, I was struggling, I was making $300 a month. I'm too embarrassed to tell my friends that I'm struggling. I'm not having success. I feel like a loser. I feel like I'm not making any money. Not just feel like it, I wasn't making any money. And I tried to think my way out of everything. I was working my face off, right? Like every waking hour almost, I was working. It wasn't for lack of effort. I was just doing the wrong things because I didn't know what to do, because I was just trying a whole bunch of stuff. And then that worst day of my life when I told my partner that I quit, I just woke up the next day and said, I can't quit because I'm going to regret this. I know I'm going to regret this. If I stop now, I'm going to regret it. I have to find a way to keep going. But the way that I keep going has to change, because what's going on now, this can't keep going on. If you're frustrated with the lack of momentum towards accomplishing your goals in life, like if you're in the same spot that you were a year ago or relatively close, the problem likely could be lack of effort, but is also likely you're just doing the wrong things. You're just focused on the wrong model. And so go find somebody who's done what you want to do. For me, I studied Bill Gates. I was out of pure desperation. I was not a genius when I was 19 and trying to figure out my way. I was at rock bottom. I just said, somebody has built a software company before. This can't be so hard, right? And I looked at Bill Gates and how he started, right? How did he start? 0 to 1. That's what you need to study, because if you look at what people are doing now, one, it's going to be hard to compare yourself to. If you compare yourself to what I'm doing now, I have 20-something people on my team. You can't, don't expect yourself to keep up with what I'm doing right now. Don't expect to keep up with 11 years of experience, right? You're not going to be as good when you first get started. That's okay. But how did I start? How did I keep going? Whoever you're looking at, look at their foundation story, how they started, and chances are you already have more than what they started with.
Rule number 8, kick out negativity from your head.
You have allowed too many negative voices into your head, and they're preventing you from achieving your dreams. Maybe it's your friends, your parents, your community, the people around you, or worst of all, maybe it's yourself. You cannot do great things with those negative voices inside your head. You need to eject them immediately. And this video will show you how. So I have a term for those negative voices. I call it the little man. The little man is either the voice inside your head or the people around you telling you all the reasons why you're not going to win. All the reasons why this project, this idea, this dream of yours is not going to happen. It's never going to happen. Not a million years is that going to happen, right? We all have people in our life who tell us that, or also us telling ourselves. And the idea for little man came from the very first video that popped on my channel. There was a video called Believe that I loved. And it was when I just discovered my one word, which is believe. I just found out what it was, and I wanted to make kind of a tribute video to that concept on my YouTube channel. And I made this video that was 6.5 minutes long or so, and I showed it to somebody who was in the entertainment industry, and I asked him to take a look at it, and he just destroyed it. He said, this video is way too long, 6.5 minutes. Nobody's gonna watch it. I didn't understand how the internet worked. All sorts of comments about how bad this video was. And to be honest, a younger version of Evan might have listened to him and tried to cut it down and make it fit within the box that he wanted it to be inside. And for whatever reason, I just had a little more strength and confidence and said, you know what? Maybe he doesn't like it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna post it anyway. I like it. It inspired me, and if it inspired me, maybe it's gonna inspire other people too. So we posted it. And at the time, my best video had 100,000 views. It took a year to get that video to 100,000 views. This video went live, and in a month had 100,000 views. In the first month had 100,000 views. And now sits around, I think, 2 million views on the channel. And so it quickly became my best video. Now it's not my best video, but at the time, it was the first video to, pop after a month. Like, this is crazy, it's taking off. And I thought, man, what if I listened to the little man? What if I listen to him? I came up with the little man because it's something that he often jokes about. So he calls other people the little man. And so I'm like, okay, well, he's the little man. What if I listened to him? I would have never done that video. I would have never built the channel. I would have been in a totally different place, a much smaller place, a much more negative place, a much more self-defeating place, because I was trying to, fit into his box. And so, I'm grateful that I had the courage at the time, at least, to trust my gut and go with it. But it's this constant battle that we face. It is the voice inside our head telling us that we're not good enough. It's the people around us telling us that we're never going to make it, sometimes out of love and sometimes out of insecurity. And it's why I think everybody has Michael Jordan level talent at something. Like, you could be the greatest. It's why belief is the #1 problem in the world. Lack of belief is the #1 problem in the world. Everything else is solvable. Believing that you could be the Michael Jordan of something, that you have the ability to be the greatest in the world at something, that belief, like really feeling that you could be the greatest in the world at something. How would your life change? How would your actions change? How would it change what you do today, right? You're watching this espresso in the morning. How does your life today change if you actually believe that you had Michael Jordan level talent at something? That's what I'm trying to do. And it starts with you kicking out the negativity in your head.
Rule number 9, don't quit.
When do you quit? You quit when you don't love it anymore. If you quit now, but you still love it, you will regret that decision the rest of your life. You'll constantly wonder, what if I just gave it one more day, one more week, one more month? You might have to slow down and do something else to survive, but you have to keep going if you still love it. So I look at my early days as a YouTube creator, and you can go back on my channel and see how awkward I was and nervous I was. And my first video, I'm sitting down in a suit and a tie, and I'm sweating, and I'm trying to memorize my lines, and it took me all day to make one video. Most of my lines were me reading because I couldn't memorize the entire script, and I was so afraid of not having to be perfect with my lines. And so I read most of it and had B-roll on top of it. But still, it took me a whole day just to get some of those lines out on camera, like take after take after take after take after take. And when I started, on paper, it looked like a stupid idea. I had no video background. I'm introverted. It doesn't come across now, but I'm introverted. I don't like being the center of attention. I don't go and talk to people and introduce myself. I don't like the camera being on me. I don't like being in a spotlight. It doesn't make me feel amazing about myself. I don't crave it. I'd much rather be at home by myself, with my wife. That's super comfortable for me. That's easy. So when I started, it was just an experiment. And even though I wasn't very good at it, I just loved it. I don't know, I liked it. I'm a visual learner, and I think people are built to serve, right? And I struggled so much as an entrepreneur that I wish there was more content for entrepreneurs that was visual and that modeled success. Bill Gates saved my company, not me talking to him or him investing in my business, just his story, how he started. I applied, and that started growing my company. And I wish there were more resources telling the stories of successful, famous entrepreneurs that you could learn from. One, just get inspired to say, wow, look what they can do. But two, also to get specific ideas to help you grow your business. And it didn't exist. And so I thought, I'm going to go make it, right? Typical entrepreneur. Nothing exists in the market, so I'm going to go off and create it myself. And so it made me do all these things that I was afraid of, that I wasn't good at, that I didn't have natural talent at. And it took me 5 years to get to my first 7,000 subscribers, right? Think about that journey. Now, I wasn't doing it every day. I wasn't as hardcore committed. I was experimenting and playing with it a bunch before actually taking it seriously. But I loved it. Even now I love it. Like, as much as I'm afraid to get in front of the camera, or afraid to go and do a speech because I don't want to disappoint people, I still love it. I love it. I love serving. I love helping people. This is what I need to do. And so even though I wasn't seeing a lot of momentum or traction at the beginning, even though all this stuff on paper looked like it was against me and I should quit and I should go do something else, for whatever reason in my heart it told me I can't quit now. I have to keep going. And just through sheer perseverance and adjusting and developing the skill set and getting better and becoming more skilled, I slowly got better. And now here we are. You know, my main channel has over 2 million subscribers and 300 million views, and it's only because I didn't quit on my dreams when everybody else would have quit.
And rule number 10, the last one before our very special bonus clip, stop playing small.
There will be periods every single day that you have the opportunity to build your courage muscle. And what usually happens for most people is they have this opportunity in front of them that is scary, that they've never done before, that they're afraid of, and they'll justify it with a practical reason. You tell yourself you can't do it because of all this, and it'll make total sense to you, and you just shrink down. You constantly play the smaller game, the weaker game, instead of being bold and believing in yourself and trying to go for it and take that action. And so how do you go from being afraid and being scared to actually having the courage to do it? Here's what I found really helps. This really helped for me multiple times, and I think it can help you. The first part is the awareness. So many people just play small by default. They don't even realize that they're playing small. It's just so ingrained in you that it just happens constantly, every day. You talk yourself down from things every single day, and it makes perfect logical sense. The reasons why you say you can't do something are rational. They make sense, and so you constantly do it. But when you catch yourself, it's usually not in the moments, it's like the next day or the next week, you catch yourself to say, you know what? Yesterday, I should have done that. I should have said yes. I was just too afraid. Why didn't I say yes? That self-awareness, that's the start. That is the start. If you can realize it, don't worry about it being a day later or 2 days later, a week later. If you can realize at any point that you played small the other day, that's the starting point. Because the next time it happens, you want to catch it again, and it's going to get a little closer. Instead of it being the next day, it'll be a couple hours. Next time it happens, it'll get a little bit closer. Next time it happens, it'll be as you're leaving that meeting. You realize almost instantly that, I did it again, I'm playing small. I'm justifying these things when I shouldn't be. I should bet on myself. I need to believe in myself. And then the magical moment happens. The magical moment happens when you have the opportunity sitting immediately in front of you and you have the decision to make. You catch it in the moment instead of the next day or the next week. You catch it as it's happening, where somebody asks you the question to say, do you want to do this? And in your head, you're thinking about all the reasons why you can't, and you catch yourself saying, this is it. This is what always happens. I'm about to play small again. And then developing the courage to say, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna say yes. And what really helped me is just thinking that I am tired of living with regret. Once you can catch it, once you have the self-awareness to catch that you're playing small consistently, I was tired of living with the regret of constantly playing smaller than I should. And when you're in that moment and you have to make that decision and you're afraid, it's okay to be afraid. It's not be fearless. You're gonna be afraid. It's feeling the fear, doing it anyway because you don't want to live in regret for the rest of your life, looking back on this moment and saying, I played small again.
Now I've got a very special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you get motivated, inspired, you have a 35% chance of following through. But when you get motivated, inspired, and you create a plan of action, you have a over 90% chance of following through. And when you share it with other people, it jumps to 95% chance. Your likelihood of following through. And so I want that to be you from this video. We don't just watch videos here, Believe Nation. We do something. We take action. So I want to know your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week. Leave it down in the comments below because I want to celebrate you.
Today I want to talk to you about how you can stop being a perfectionist. So I'm a recovering perfectionist. I like things to be exactly as I want them. You know, if something is 1 pixel off, it bothers me and I want it to be fixed.
And that's held me back a lot in my business, especially in my earlier years, where it would stop me from doing things because I wanted it to be perfect. And until it was perfect, I wasn't going to release it. And because I could never get it to be perfect, nothing ever came out. And I feel like this hurts a lot of entrepreneurs. The thing that really helped me get better is understanding that there is no perfect. This is a struggle. You want perfect, right? You want it to be exactly perfect. And because there is no perfect, you're constantly stressing out on trying to get there. So there is no perfect. Your main goal is just trying to be better than you were yesterday. And that really helped me because I look at my YouTube videos and I look at my website and I look at my team and I look at my relationships. Nothing is perfect, right? You're always going to be editing your website. You're always going to be trying to make your relationship better. You're always going to be improving your products and services. There is no perfect. A lot of people want to get started on YouTube and they're trying to make their first video and they record it and they look at it and they don't like it, so they don't publish it, and then they try to record it again and it still isn't good, so they don't publish it. And they never actually publish anything because they have these crazy high standards. They want it to be perfect. That's never going to get there. And so then you don't end up publishing anything and you don't make any progress towards your goal.
If you want to watch 10 more rules of Evan Carmichael, check out the video next to me. You have to click this. I will see you there, guys. Continue to believe.
This is the most important thing that will help give you leverage in your business, to help you turn from just kind of making a little bit of money, kind of making a little bit of momentum, to having massive momentum.